We now move on to the Lifetime Achievement Award. The Lifetime Achievement Award, this award recognizes an RN who has made an outstanding contribution to the nursing profession throughout a nursing career. This award celebrates ongoing commitment to the nursing profession, from advocating the advancement of nursing on local or national levels, to the promotion and delivery of healthcare services, to enhancing the prestige and credibility of nursing. The Lifetime Achievement Award recipients always served their profession, are deserving of an award. They have served their profession with unwavering dedication. The 2012 nominees are Carol Barr, AHS Seniors Health Strategy Unit; Jane Simington, Taking Flight International Corporation; Leslie Barker, Healthy Communities; Ruth Grant, Kalischuk, University of Lethbridge, Faculty of Nursing. Madam President, are you ready?
I am ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present the 2012 Lifetime Achievement Award to Jane Simington, Taking Flight International Corporation.
Jane knew she wanted to be a nurse since grade 3. When she entered the profession, she quickly gravitated towards mental health nursing. As time wore on, she discovered that there was a spiritual side to healing. To advance her understanding, she decided to complete a BSN and a BA in psychology. A personal recovery from grief dovetailed with professional interests in alternative therapies like art therapy, dream analysis, and healing touch. As she healed herself, she advanced her own understanding of these areas and completed a Ph.D. In the early 1990s, Jane entered academia, working as a faculty member at several universities, including the University of Alberta. In 2003, she incorporated her company, Taking Flight International, which has been a side project up until this point. Now, she is a renowned grief and trauma expert who has touched thousands of lives around the world. In addition to creating self-help resources, Jane offers guidance to healthcare workers treating people with trauma and grief issues. She's often called upon to give keynote talks where she discusses her concept of soul pain and the spiritual void that underpins trauma. Now let's watch the screens as we play a short video for our dear friend Jane.
When I think of Jane, I think about courage and passion to step outside the box, to look for what people need for healing that isn't always readily available out in our world.
I would describe Jane as enthusiastic, honest, caring, adventurous, and courageous, and most of all, just full of integrity.
Well, I think she's a beautiful person, inside and out.
I would describe Jane as a visionary, a leader, an educator. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she's a woman who thinks outside the box, she's spiritual, and she's intuitive.
Jane deserves this award because she has demonstrated to herself and others that nursing involves lifelong learning. She's never stopped learning when she's tried to find new ways to help people to live lives that are healthy after something very tragic has happened in their lives.
I think one of the great things that a lot of people don't grasp is that one of the tribes of Canadian Indians gave her an eagle feather. Well, that's a real tribute to someone when they do that. And that's just an example of something where she achieved greatly, but didn't say much about it, but she would treasure that eagle feather forever.
She has broken through new territory. She's not afraid of going into places where nurses haven't been before.
She heals souls, and that's different. And it all ventures back to when she lost her son.
She was able to take that tragedy and turn it into something where she felt she could help other people, not have to search for so long to find the healing that she can now teach them how to get.
Instead of putting all her time into healing individuals, like one-to-one basis, she decided she would devote her life to teaching people how to teach others these kinds of skills.
She uses the phrases called soul pain, and how do people address soul pain and find healing for such a deep fracture of their soul.
Well, you know, a lot of us, when we have so-called disease, we really have soul pain underneath it someplace. And the disease that's diagnosed is just a sort of symptom someplace of something.
I think it's her continual quest to discover alternative methods or rediscover alternative methods to help people in their healing process, and then her passion to share that with the people that need healing and also with those that are wanting to provide healing to others.
I've seen it happen again and again, that she's grown and grown and grown magnificently. And I mean, she's got the feds wanting to get her at every turn because of her great work, for example, with imprisoned women. She really changed the lives of many, many of those women. And it's all kind of what I call stellar avant-garde. She's ahead of everybody else, I think.
I just want to say I'm very proud of you. It's a very deserving award. You have spent your life giving to others, and it's wonderful to be recognized by your colleagues, and I say congratulations to you, well deserved.
So Jane, I'd like to congratulate you this evening on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award that you so richly deserve. And I'd also like to thank you for being an inspiration in my life in the area of health, healing, wholeness, and spirituality, in helping all the people that we journey with towards healing.
I want to say, Jane, that you have my heart and my mind and my ongoing commitment to all that you do to help others.
I just want to say thank you for being who you are, and thank you for pursuing in your life and in your career to find your place in the world and to find your place in helping people through nursing. You deserve this honor. I know that the road hasn't always been straight. There have been many twists and turns, but you've pursued and you deserve this honor, and I am happy to be here to share that with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jane Simington.
I'm deeply touched to receive this prestigious award. When I was 9 years old, I watched my oldest sister graduate from nursing school, and I knew in that moment that I would be a nurse. My career has actually spanned from emergency room to palliative care to nursing management, nursing education, and even the boardroom. And while I've always been satisfied and felt honored to meet the physical needs of people, I knew that there was a deeper concern that somehow I needed to find ways to meet those needs. The emotional and spiritual needs of people became very important for me. And especially, as you heard, after the death of my son, it became very important for me to learn more about that because I needed to heal myself as well. And that took me back to the university to study the complementary methods of healing, and to the University of Hawaii, where I looked at spirituality. I'm honored, as you heard, to have learned so much from the women in our federal prisons and from our First Nations communities. I spent some time working with the women in the federal prison. It was my first opportunity to really work in trauma care. And while I knew a lot about that in theory, and I had experienced my own trauma through the death of my son, those women at the prison taught me so much and taught me about so many things that I needed to know in order to help the people that I work with now. I and my staff deliver trauma and grief training to professionals and semi-professionals, many of them being nurses, locally, nationally, and internationally. And I say that we just returned from Greece, where I was very honored and able to offer trauma training to professionals there so they can help relieve all the post-traumatic stress that is being experienced. And so tonight, I'm grateful for this honor. I'm grateful for all of you who are here, because I know that it takes special people to honor someone. And I'm particularly grateful for the people who nominated me, Joanne and Lynn and Shirley. I loved what you said. It feels very wonderful to have seen your pictures and heard your words. I'm grateful for my husband. He was also a Fed. He was actually in the RCMP when I married him, so holding the arm of that red surge felt nice tonight as well. Thank you to my daughters and their partners. You have really helped to help me walk the path that I needed to walk. Thank you, Marlene. Marlene is on my staff. She accompanied me to many places. And I want to thank especially the people who took all of the time to nominate me. I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you so much.